Hello and welcome back to the round 2 of Michigan State Professional Championships here at Sanford, Michigan for round 2. My name is Zachary O'Haron and I'm joined with Andrew Marby for the commentators. Mike, how you doing, Andrew?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be back for round 2 here at one of my favorite courses in East Michigan, Sanford.
Yeah, we got a tight race there up at the front. 1 leader with a 1-stroke lead and then kind of a lot of people sitting there at neg 7. So it's anyone's tournament to win, but it's this guy's right now. Tim Barham starting at neg 10 so far, currently standing in first, looking to finish off another state title.
And we got Willie Prince tied for second with a 10:33 rated round, neg 9.
Solid from him. Got Mitchell Kloc as well, one of the local guys. He's also looking to kind of sneak in at this tournament, maybe place a little well, maybe win a title here.
And lastly, we got Todd Lewis, probably another local here, 957 rated with a 10:33 rated round. So imagine these last two guys are pretty stoked to be here on the lead car at the Michigan State Championships.
For sure. Starting off on hole 1, 459 feet. Marby, what's the secret key?
Secret key right here is hit this gap here on this left, hopefully. Anything over this little road, which is not OB, is going to put you in prime position to have a nice little 200-foot-ish approach to this green, which is tucked around right behind these last few trees. Definitely a shorter par 4. If you hit that initial gap, though, it's pretty easy. But if you don't, it can give you some big numbers.
Tim, who was a forehand player for a long time before he became more popular for his mid-range backhand, is going to go forehand off the tee, and that's a fine landing spot.
Yeah, that was actually very conservative. Unless I hit that tree, I didn't notice. It was a pretty conservative shot to just make sure that he has an open shot for the second, which Willie is not going conservative here, even though he's probably throwing a buzz, but yep. Willie throws buzzes like 450 feet, so great shot, though, from Willie.
It's an early tree. He's going to be over there by Tim as well. Here's Todd. This one looks like it's stretching a little wide, but he's going to get through most of it. He's also going to be in the open. He'll be looking for an upshot there, hopefully to save his birdie.
We got Mitchell decked out all pink here, going for the sidearm. I think he threw a little too inside, but that worked out pretty well.
He is stealing your swag. He has avocado socks and talks about Marweed steals that from me. No, oh, come on. Marweed is the cookie monster.
Hey, I'm not sure I've ever played with Mitchell before, but it's a good look. So we got Willie here with I think he was trying to go more of a flex forehand. I can't really tell, but sawed it off for sure. And he's going to probably struggle to get up and down for a par, but let's see if he can do it.
You'll notice that Willie's going to kind of grasping at that arm. He is playing with an injury today. He wasn't sure if he was going to play round 2 or not, but he played really well, and he said, well, I might as well keep playing as long as I'm shooting well. So he does that, and Tim just parks it while I say that.
Yeah, that looks super routine from Tim.
Just forehand.
Looks a little high out of the hand, but end result pretty good inside the circle.
Yep. Oh, yeah, he's grabbing his zone here.
Must be a new one, unless I haven't played with him in a while. I don't recognize that disc.
Oh, he's putting a big ante on it. And
yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, that'll work.
Great par save from Willie there.
Mitchell, the big bomber out of the group here. Gonna need a pretty big spike hyzer here to put it by the basket.
Yeah, the right side of this fairway is pretty thick, so he's opting to go out around back to the fairway, swing it back. Nicely done, putting him just inside the circle.
Mitchell's kind of a big arm guy, too. Locals like to say he likes to throw real far, so.
It's going to be tough to see at this course, though. It's not too many,
big bomb
I would say any at all, actually, yeah. If you've never played here before, it's a very, very tightly wooded course. A lot of tricky par 3s.
Oh, just short. Yeah, it kind of favors probably the forehand finesse player here in these first 2 courses.
I would say so, too, yeah.
Before we get to Wicks in round 3, which is a little more open, and my favorite course, but we're going to have to wait for that. We still have to finish this one. We have a couple birdies, couple pars. The hole did play as .27 under par, so they're beating that by just a little bit as we head into hole 2, which does not play under par.
No, it's tough to say this is a par 3. Only coming in at 374 feet is probably pretty accurate. A lot of players are going to be landing up right to where the drone is right now with a nice chip forehand and then another chip forehand. If you want to be super aggressive, you could go backhand turnover almost like a flex, but if you're left or right on this hole, it is so tough to get up and down. So most of these players, if not everyone's probably going to be playing for the 3 on this one.
I was super aggressive.
I was too.
This morning.
Don't ask for the result. I'm
Okay.
not, yeah.
I parred it. I almost birdied it. It would have been the most incredible birdie. Last year you played this course twice on this hole, and there were 0 birdies on it.
Yeah,
0
it doesn't
twos.
surprise me. Yeah.
So Donut, who's one of the cameramen here today, really wanted to see if anyone could convert the 2 on this year's layout. Starting off with Tim, who put it pretty in an ideal location there.
Yeah, just a turnover putter, and it looks like
Todd right there.
yeah, I'm not sure that was a putter, so you might have been trying to go a little bit more aggressive, not quite for the 2, but unfortunate kick to the left. And
I don't know what this is because it's either his Challenger or his Buzz, which are identical in color.
I think it was Challenger because I think he had 2 in his hand, which I don't know how he throws with another disc in his hand. That's crazy to me.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's just Willie though.
How about you leave a comment? Do you throw with another thing in your hand? Because I can't do it.
Even people that like hold a towel as they throw. I know Ziggy does that a lot, but like it's just like crazy to me.
Okay, so let Marvin know. Do you have something in hand or an empty hand on your off throwing arm?
But when I putt with a disc in my left hand, so I guess you could go both ways on that.
Yeah,
one.
but you're not throwing power throws.
Right, exactly.
So we want to know power. Not putting. Putting doesn't count. So it looked like actually Todd maybe got a kick to the left.
Yeah, I saw him shake his head there. So
got another kick in a bad spot there. Here we are with Mitchell, who's in a rough spot.
showing the teeth of hole 2, definitely. This looks pretty high.
It's really high.
Wow.
And he was sailing past that basket and went click-clack and landed by the basket.
That was a good tree. Yeah, these trees here at Staford, I would not say they're nice trees, but that one was a nice tree.
There's always that one tree that's got to be different. It's a backhand from him, and that looks really good. Honestly, at a good spot considering he couldn't do a clean run-up, but he's still going to be quite a bit short.
Yeah, it looks so good, too. I'm surprised. But, yeah, like I said, if you're not right in the middle, like where Tim is, this hole is so tough.
It's really hard. He's going to be the last chance for a 2 here. Come on, Tim, throw it in. Just a little bit short, but nice upshot, and he's going to be 15 feet. Good spot for his 3. And now that we're here, I can tell you that there's officially no birdies. 0. 3 rounds between last year and this year, and 0 birdies. This was in a really bad spot, and tickle.
That hit the chains?
I hit chains.
Oh my gosh.
Chained out left side.
That
Nearly
would have been crazy.
That would have been just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, Willie here with a 50-ish footer for his 3.
Just a bit off. His putting is also looking a lot better. I've noticed this year he's kind of changed up a couple things. Not quite as dominant as a Heiser putter. Still Heiser putts a lot, but not quite as much. Tim with a pretty routine par save.
Yes, and something to know about this course and about these baskets alone is they're pretty old baskets. So, you know, if you're a very fast spin putter, these baskets are not catching every putt. So you're really going to have to make sure, you know, you have a softer release. You're aiming low center for there's limits the, you know, chance for spit outs. But, you know, you hit high right, high left, there's a great chance it spits through. So hopefully we don't see any today, but I can imagine some of these players going a little bit safer on putts today.
I would imagine that for players like Jeff Bennett who practice putting without a chain is probably
baskets.
Yeah, this is a really good basket. Hole 3 here. Tell me how much you love it.
Oh man, you can talk about this hole.
Really?
Yeah.
466 feet. It is a jungle hole. If you've ever been to Flip City and you've ever played Vietnam and Mini Vietnam, it's like those two things together. You really just want to throw something into the fairway, get an open look for your upshot here. Last year we did have a couple people get up there for a 2 look, but not so lucky to get those. And we're going to see if any of our arms go for it this year. Common play is usually either to play on the inside right side and try to turn something over into that space where Tim's trying to go, it looks like. Try to get down the fairway low, which is
brutal
not
take.
good. Or you can play high left side, which is a little more open, I think. I think I saw you last year try to play that space with a forehand and got pretty far down there. You just kind of pick your poison here.
Yeah, even the layup shot. That's the play I went with this year as a flex forehand, but even the layup shot, it's just so tricky to like not hit a tree or have in the perfect spot. But it always amazes me how many not how many, but that I see twos on this hole, because it plays all of 466, and you're throwing as hard as you can. You're hoping not to hit one of these 4 million trees. So,
and there actually are 4 million. I counted them.
Yeah, we counted them. A couple bad kicks actually though.
Don't check our
maths. We got Willie here. He's probably gonna go pretty fast.
Willie's a guy who can reach this hole normally in a pretty. I think this is onyx.
Yeah, it seemed pretty flippy. Maybe he turned over a little too much, but it's going to be some scrambling here. No one really landing, or actually, I think Mitchell landed in the fairway-ish, but no, even if you're landing in the fairway, it's still a scramble, so.
Yeah. Trying to scoot this one up the fairway, and he does so. He's another halfway up there. Honestly, if you're not in a clean spot in the fairway off your drive, a 4's fine. Because it's so hard to save it if you're off the fairway. The right side is just brutal. You can see Tim here going with a hawk or thumber of some kind, trying to make some magic happen, and he's going to end up short there, hitting the tops of one of those trees. And like I said, Tim's a very capable thumber player, and that is still very short for a chance of at birdie.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong about Mitchell being in the fairway. It was a good tee shot, but it was a kicked off the fairway. It's going to go super high Anheuser forehand. Gets caught up pretty early, though, but does make it pretty close to the fairway, so... Oh, wow, that's actually a lot closer than I thought, so we'll have a longer look for a putt here.
Circle 2 look probably. Just outside. Oh, he's going with a thumber,
Another overhand.
Which is not Willie's necessarily. Oh, and that's way left of the basket. He's on the pathway to the next basket.
But only about 45, 50 feet, so we'll take that.
And then even from here, this is not a guaranteed upshot. There's still plenty of things in his way.
Hits the initial gap, though, and it looks like a pretty good
settle. Yeah, that'll work just fine.
So was there any twos?
Yes, there was a 2. In fact, as I hear the story, because whenever Crew 42 does film, we do get information in at that point. When we're not filming, no one tells me anything. When I am filming, they tell me Luke Taylor had a drop-in eagle.
Oh yeah, right there on the screen. That's incredible.
Literally, as far as I understood it, he just
set it in
could reach the basket. So I don't know what route he took, but everyone needs to take notes for him, because if we have states here again, people are going to want to take whatever route he took. There's Willie from that long putt. Bang.
Great putt. I don't know if Tim was we give him a high five or not left him hanging, but I think he was pretty excited that Willie drained that putt.
Those two playing together. First of all, you and Willie playing together is just this hodgepodge of awesomeness.
Oh,
it's just hilarious. Tim and Willie playing together is totally different, and I've never seen Tim talk that much or say half those things, and it's just hilarious. Apparently, if you're a top touring pro and you play with Willie Prince, you're just going to have a good time.
Yeah, Willie's a fun guy to play with for sure, any course. Moving on, we got hole 4, one of the easier holes of the course, par 3. Only 222 feet, but a gap that's, less than 12 feet wide. It is crucial that you hit this initial gap, and it looks like it goes a little bit to the right, which it does, but I would say the play is to throw whatever you have that goes straight as possible. Get yourself inside 15 feet for the birdie look.
Yeah, don't deviate. Don't try to read something just dead straight, and that's what Willie's trying to do with that Challenger.
Looks a little high, but I'm sure he was trying for a hyzer flip, though, so depending on how far it pushed through, doesn't look too heavy, though.
He's just giving that puffed out lower lip nod, which is never his favorite gesture. Tim going with a forehand here. Can't quite tell what that is.
Probably a zone. I doubt that's a ringer or whatever. I think it's a ringer that he throws as well, but that was pretty perfect. Slight Anheuser, slide it up to the basket inside 20 feet.
Here's Mitchell now. He looks like he's trying to take this has got to stop being as stable, and that's going to end up on the right side there.
Which is fine, but it does bring in the death putt factor because, coming back on the right side from a putt, you're putting downhill, so it can definitely scoot way down as looks like a little bit of an early release there from Todd.
Yeah, he's going to be stuck in an awkward spot there.
You don't really practice these kind of shots in this hole, too. You kind of expect to hit the gap, so This is going to take some true scrambling to get up and down.
And that one's not going to quite make it all the way where he wants it. He's going to be in a tough spot for that putt. You can see it there at the bottom of the hill. In fact, it's still on him.
This would be huge if we can get this one to go. Half run.
Don't you dare. Don't you. Okay. Alright, that's fine. That could have been worse. We're just going to leave it there. Willie from the woods. Surprisingly large amount of overhand shots already.
Especially in the first 3 holes, yeah. Looks like Willie's got a nice low ceiling, so he's going to try to... Ooh. I probably shouldn't have been talking about that. But it was bound to happen. It looked a little left, but that probably could have caught. I'm sure Willie was expecting it to catch, but a good birdie attempt nonetheless as Mitchell comes up short.
I'm quite sure why he was short there. He was contemplating life. One of the best things, as a person who films, one of my favorite things to see is people contemplating life after they miss a putt like that. Just looking up and like, why, God, why?
It happens to the best of us.
It does. It happens to everyone. Sometimes it just isn't your day. But still lots of golf to play here, so. And yeah, Tim and Willie are going to have a good time all day. They're just going to be chirping away at one another, having a grand old time. And we're going to tag along with them next on hole 5, 276 feet. Another par 3 here. What do you think the play here is, Marweed?
I'm trying to remember this hole. Okay, yeah, so there's 276 feet. This one goes slightly to the right. It's a very straight shot to begin with, so most people are going to go, I would assume, forehand, or righty forehand, playing it super straight, letting the disc hyzer. There's this grouping of trees right in the middle. You either want to push the fairway left or go early on to get yourself a putt, but I can see a backhand turnover being a shot as well, but much trickier as Tim demonstrates the perfect shot for this hole.
And I will say I did the backhand turnover with Luna, and I landed exactly where Tim was at.
I think for the backhand, you kind of have to go with that inside route unless you have something super late flippy. But
we saw Ian last year play the backhand route with a rock as well. It is there, but I think you're correct. I think if you have the forehand power, and we can see that Willie's much more of a backhand dominant player, and he's going with the forehand because it just shapes that well if you have that power.
And this forehand definitely has improved so much in this last year. That one leaks a little bit too high. The play on this one is definitely to keep it lower. If anything, play for even like a skip on the outside, which Mitchell demonstrates perfectly as well.
2 people with inside 5 feet, less than probably 2 feet. You gotta make it look a little too easy.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy hard hole, but I would say it is not an easy hole to park. Todd with the early release problems early on here. This is going to be a very tough scramble. Unless he pulls out some kind of miraculous turnover roller, he might just be pitching up for a 4 though.
When you put a good angle on it, but not that disc stability is not quite what it needs to be. He's gonna be on that rough side, so I think you're right. I think this is gonna be in danger of a bogey here. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be. Hole played at just under par at -0.12, so it played a little tougher than like the previous hole, which was that short straight one, which it played at -0.31. A little difficult here, a little more difficult. And Willie,
nubbed. That one looked good too. His putt's looking good early on here.
Whoever designed nubs on a basket, I want to talk to him.
But I feel like if it really wasn't the nubs though, you have so many of those low right and low left that wouldn't catch. They just slide right over.
No, stop. If I
try it.
Everyone, I teach, and so kids will have the craziest questions. One of them's like, if you go back in time and meet anyone, what would you do? I'd go back and meet the person who invented nubs and I'd take care of it. I'd fix it for him. I'm not even an engineer, and I'd fix it for him.
I mean, I definitely do not like nubs, but I feel like they do have a purpose. I feel like I notice it way more when they bounce out because...
Heading into hole 6 now, 279 feet. Almost the opposite of the previous hole. This one's going to dogleg left. The drone is going to fly the right gap here in the more open fairway. This is not the common gap that most people take, which is the inside kind of poke and pray a little bit on the inside gap, but it's an easier flight for the disc to hit that gap.
And it's almost like a backward C, kind of like the way the drone flew. Like it goes sharply left, but almost like if your disc wants to fly backwards and you want to throw it high. But Tim is going with that sneakier inside route, which was, I mean, honestly, it was perfect even though it bounced off that tree, but that was the line that he was definitely intending to do. and is rewarded with the circle's edge birdie putt. That's kind of the play I was talking about, throwing it super high and almost making the disc want to come backwards, which was just a few feet too inside for that to work. But luckily the hole's so short, he should be able to cut through the center to get up and down for his birdie.
It's just, it feels so weird. I'm just not sure which one is really better, because the higher end feels like you're almost throwing into more branches, but the lower end is like so hard to hit. So I'm not really sure what the proper play should be. But
do you want to know what my play was for this one?
it's some ridiculous forehand.
You can't even see it on this.
Because you're going to take the left gap, right?
I went Spike Heiser forehand.
Yeah, on the left
There's
side.
a very non-smart route to take.
Hold on, I'm going to look something up and see.
Oh, don't look if I birdied it, because I didn't. But
Oh, no, he didn't birdie it. I want to see if you were one of the birdies, and you were not.
no,
Great
I
hit.
had a putt, though.
You had a putt, though. That's all that matters. You just got to give guys like you, just give them a putt.
Just give me a putt. Give me a chance. Looks like Todd has a chance. Gross.
I mean, he just
That looks so good.
can't quite get anything to connect on the beginning of this course. And he's going to need to make some changes quick in order to kind of keep up with this lead card. Tim's kind of having a pretty good front 6 holes so far. So if he makes this, he's going to be setting a pretty hot pace.
It was kind of funny too. I was surprised that Willie didn't stare down that putt, because whenever he has like a chain out, the next putt he always stares it down and waits for it to be like landing in the bucket before he like goes against this. It's so funny.
I want someone to take a picture of him when he does that and just make that his profile pic. Of him just staring at a disc that's sitting in the bottom of the basket, because I see it all the time.
Is Mitchell putting the harp there?
He is. I think it's a soft harp, but it is a harp. It says it.
Interesting.
Not sure.
All right, we got hole 7, 188 feet. Gotta be one of the easiest hole in the course. There's no danger to speak of. You know, if you bogey this hole, it's probably a 3 putt. But as long as you split this tree for an ace run, you'll have a birdie putt. Another common play, which is one I do, is kind of like a little soft flex with a stable putter, because that right side gap is a little bit more forgiving. If you hit those 2 initial trees, you're going to be outside the circle. So
I had to do the zoom in thing. And he's going to put it in that gap. And
yeah, it's perfect.
Tim's just locked in right now. Tim's looking really good. It does play as the 3rd hardest hole. No, I'm just kidding. It's the 2nd easiest one. Second easiest. On the day, averaging negative 0.36. And that is an early release from Willie. And that gets literally 7 tree kicks, all of them directing him left.
Really?
Yeah, it was not good.
I don't really see the forehand touch play too much. It requires so much finesse. That one looks pretty good.
Gotta sit, though.
Yeah, a little too fast.
I feel like the backhand, you can control that touch a little better.
Yeah, you can get that nose up, more spin on a backhand, too. I mean, even I don't throw forehand in this hole.
And that's like almost all you do.
And it's all I do.
Oh.
Ooh, bad kick to the right.
And Todd was trying to go for that right lane. He was just trying to aim for the right lane and get there. But even with that kick, like you said, the right side's a little more open. He still has a long run at this if he chose to take that.
It doesn't really look like it, but this is a surprisingly fast green. If you hit behind the basket, as that one stops, yeah, thanks this. But it is a fast green. If you hit behind the basket, it downslopes a little bit. So comebacker putts are very common on this hole. Don't think Willie. Oh, he definitely was running that. No one listens to me.
Yeah, Donut was confident there was no gap for him to take, and then he found literally the 3 gaps that were disc wide and gave it a pretty good bid, honestly.
Right here with his comeback putt, probably just outside the circle, I would imagine. And thank you, Nubs.
There you go, you got one right.
I think if there was no Nubs, I was still going in, but
That's probably true. We'll give you credit. We'll give you credit here.
there's 10 taps in the birdie, off to a hot start.
Yeah, 4 down, I think now if you.
5 down,
5
through
down
7.
through 7. Excuse me. I can't use numbers.
There's the stare down. I knew he was gonna.
He's gonna do it.
You can always count on at least one stare down around.
Do you think Crew 42 should start a stare down counter with Tim whenever Willie's uncovered?
I think you should.
Ding.
So, I mean, some of them get up towards like 5 seconds, I feel like, which isn't too long, but when you think about staring at a basket for 5 seconds, it's kind of funny.
Hole 8 now. This is probably a positive change what the field thinks, because last year it was OB on this road on the left side and over, and this time it's not OB.
I think it was, but it plays a river.
It plays a river, but it used to be just left, used to be all OB. So I think the river OB is a little nicer than the horrific. Because last year you got like the nastiest kick and you were not on the road, but you were considered OB because you were left of it. And
Right.
So I think this is a favorable change.
Oh, that was looking so good.
Speaking of literally favorable changes,
Yes.
Tim's going to be on the other side of that road and not OB. I, for some reason, thought it just wasn't OB at all, but I could be wrong.
I'm almost positive it was, 'cause I remember thinking, I was questioning why there wasn't paint, because the road is like that was a great shot, not to overlook
perfect.
that. But not being any paint on that road, it's a gravel road, so it's really hard to determine where the disc is inbounds versus out of bounds. But that was a fantastic shot by Mitchell.
Yeah, perfect forehand from him there. Willie trying to go with a backhand, and that's going to get early trees and a kick right again. He's just stuck in the woods a lot today. Todd looking to get something going here. This looks a little inside as well, and it sure is. It's not going to get past that first layer. So it looks like we're going to forehand scramble out of that.
Definitely a tricky green too if you're short and right here on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
That whole right side is just flooded with trees, as demonstrated here. Let's see if Willie can maneuver something here with his forehand raptor, I believe.
Big forehand, trying to go over the top of stuff. Willie likes to, when he gets in trouble, he likes to just go over everything and just try to get close to the basket that way, and it worked out this time. Todd from way out here. Probably over 100 feet. He's just taking a big bit at that, and
Very close to ringing that one up.
yeah, he's gonna have a short little comebacker for his bogey there. Tim now off to the left side. I'm not sure how much he could really see the basket. You saw him leaning over to the side there, probably planning a big hyzer putt. Line was good, just a touch short. Right before this putt, Todd said something about the baskets having bad catchability, and he gets
That one, yeah, that was a good catch.
that was
it was a fine putt, but like you can see those gaps on the right. I'm done talking.
I won't lie. I knew that was coming, and I just teed you up.
You
for
did,
it.
you did.
I did. I just wanted to say something. But Todd actually did say something about, them not catching the best, and then he's like, wow. And then I say that, and then that happened, and then he watched Willie do it, who was talking about it still. And
Easy. There we go. I mean, granted, Willie did putt that 100 miles per hour for some reason, but that should have caught.
Tim's helping him out, marking it. Now he's giving him some instruction on how to putt it.
Gentle. Good job. You hate to see it, but it does happen. It is disc golf. Happens to everyone, especially on baskets like these, but best thing you can do is just move on, try to attack, get a birdie in the next hole. Speaking of birdies, we got hole 9, 360 feet. Not a great hole to try to get a birdie on, so the line is... Zach, take it from here. Where's the line?
There isn't one.
There's not.
But that's not true. We did see someone last year birdie this both rounds. It happened to be you. And the line, if I recall correctly, is throw it as hard as you can into the tree line.
And I did actually birdie this hole my practice round and my tournament round. So I'm 4 in a row, so I'm never playing this course again, so I can stay 100%.
Just keeping the stats alive. Huh?
Yeah, it was good, decent sized putts, but it's just one of those holes where you can kind of see that tree in that sunspot, that taller whitish one.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to aim either right or left. Like Tim's going inside, but the right side's a little bit more favorable because you can kind of push straight around it and then try to get lucky through the backside trees to get yourself a longish putt. But anything short here is probably a bogey. So leaving this hole with a 3. Probably, actually, I guarantee you're taking strokes in the field.
Yeah, this hole actually plays as, let's find out. What hole is this? 9? Is the 5th hardest hole.
That's actually not too bad. That was
Plus
surprising
1.7.
high, but yeah, it's not too far of a hole to try to get a 3, but
I can reach this hole, and I have a big old noodly in it.
Yeah, anything that's not kicking left or right, but it is definitely tricky.
The hardest hole obviously being hole 2 according to course par, because that's a par 3, even though it's not a par 3.
Right.
But it's not a par 4, right? It's just like, it's 3.5, another 3.5.
Yeah,
Classic,
what do you do?
Classic Michigan par, right?
But I think Tim chose the inside line because if you do kind of hit a tree short left, you are still in the quote-unquote fairway, so it does open up the line to the basket for a nice easy jump putt / soft throw to the basket. But looks like Todd's going to go back door, sneak one up to the basket. And
oh boy.
I'm not sure what he has up his sleeve here.
Scuba. It's not really scuba. It's like a baby hawk. And he just wants to CTP.
I gotta know if he practices that, because I don't think he does. So
100% yes.
You think so?
Because he's at the Hammond Hill Championship, when we filmed him, he also putted upside down there for a layup. So I know for a fact that he does do some practice with an upside down disc.
Well, that was impressive. That worked out like perfect. So, Tim, what are you doing? What are you looking at me for?
He's eating a banana. He's trying to make you uncomfortable. I started calling him Banana Barham after this. He didn't hate it. But pretty good starting hole here, or front 9, for Tim and for Mitchell, who kind of had a slow start, but got moving there near the end there with 3 birdies. Willie kind of having a back and up and down moment there. He's trying to get himself out of trouble, and Todd kind of an unfortunate beginning there, but still 9 holes for him to try to get himself back on track here on the back 9. And thanks again to our Patreon followers and supporters, and can't wait to see you guys on the back 9 for round 2.